What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and I had a request a while back from Mary Avella, who has a YouTube channel called Living with the Lions, asking me to do a video on what's in my spice cabinet. I figured it was a great way for me to show everybody what I actually have in my spice cabinet, give a few people a shout out, and clean out my spice cabinet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her YouTube channel in the description below, and actually in the iCard above. I only have about 5 different channels I can put in the iCard above, but you know what, I'm going to have a few of these other channels in the iCard above as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the channels that, or with the spices of the channels that actually sent me some of these things, and then we'll go on from there. I do want this to be a little organized, just so it's not a bunch of spices out here. And if there's a, if there's a story to go along with the spices, I'll kind of get into that as well. Let's move in and talk about what I'm working with. Let's start with my first spice. I have some Suckle Busters Habanero Barbecue Rub. This was sent to me by one of my probably my best friend on YouTube, Thyron Matthews at T&T BBQ. Run by his channel. Take a look at that. And just so you know how much he cares about me, you can see that he paid exactly $2 for this. Plus shipping and handling. So you could tell he shares the love on that. Stop by his channel. We have some beef rub from BBQ. Now, this beef rub is one of the best beef rubs I've tasted, whether it's commercial or anything that somebody else has sent me. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description and the iCard above as well. Tango Spice. Alright, so I have some Midnight Espresso and some Tango Verde, and I think I've gone through one of the bottles of Midnight Espresso or Espresso already. Tango Spice Company has some good spices, and these, I'm going to put a link to his company in the description below, but he's pretty dear to my heart. When my sister needed some money to pay for a medical bill, he actually sent some money in. So please stop by Tango Spice Company. If you're looking for spices, that's a good place to buy some. Another spice I have is called Runnin' Wild Peach, and a YouTube channel by the name of armadillo.com sent me this. And this is kind of, I've used it one time. It's a pretty smoky rub, pretty good flavor on it. The smoke on it is probably something that I would personally use more for indoor cooking than outdoor cooking, but very good rub, and you can definitely taste the peach in that. I have Cooking with Cade, little Master Chef Junior or whatever they're calling that. He sent me a couple bottles. He sent me a seasoning rub and a seasonal, and the seasonal is basically almost like a seasoned salt, but definitely has a little bit more heat in it than most of them. And this is my favorite here, is this smoky seasoning rub. This stuff, like I said, is not seriously hot, but a lot more spicy than what you would get from most companies. Especially, he's not even marketing this as a spicy rub, and this rub here is actually spicier than this habanero rub right here. They sell a lot of different stuff on their website. I'm going to put a link to their website here, but they sell a lot of different seasonings and candles, just a bunch of different stuff. The last 2 ones I want to get to were sent to me by my brother, Surfin' Sapo. He sent me some chicken wing barbecue seasoning, as well as some Texas pecan barbecue rub. I haven't used the barbecue wing sauce yet, but I have used the Texas pecan barbecue rub, and you can definitely taste kind of that pecan flavor coming through there. I'm going to put a link to Surfin' Sapo's YouTube channel in the description below as well. He's really trying to get into some healthy cooking right now, something that I'm trying to do as well. Run by there and tell him that No Hippie Barbecue sent you. Now, let's get on to the random spices. Group of spices I have. This is just a commercial. It's called Spadale Ranch. It's a beef marinade and seasoning. This is something that would go good with brisket, steak, or just any other beef. I have some Sea Dog rub from Code 3 Spices. This spice company is basically owned by firemen and police officers. They give back to the community. I've used a few of their different ones, so I only am left with the Sea Dog rub, which is basically a Cajun blend, which would typically be good for fish. One of my favorite, actually probably my favorite for ribs or anything like that, is I have some Killer Hogs barbecue rub right here, and this is made by Malcolm Reed, championship barbecue cook. Really like this rub. Next, hold up everybody, we got some MSG here. This is Accent, and Accent is basically MSG. Almost any good barbecue rub that you get is going to have Accent in it. You know, everybody doesn't want MSG or anything like that, but it's a nice flavor enhancer, and I use it in some of my homemade rubs as well as soup, so I use that. The next thing is something that I've just started getting into. I haven't really been into curing a lot of meat, but this here is, we have some Prague powder number 1, and basically this is a curing salt. So if you want to take a brisket instead of making a regular brisket and turn it into pastrami, this is what you need to cure it. I have some Chinese barbecue I don't even know how to pronounce it, charzu. And basically, if you have ever gone to a Chinese restaurant and seen that pork that has the red ring around it, this is kind of similar to that. So this is kind of, let's just say, a Chinese barbecue rub. And last in this is we have some a commercial rub. This is a herb coffee rub. This is excellent. You can ask Thyron at T&T BBQ. This is just basically a coffee rub that's basically good on steak or any beef. Let's get on to the next. It's kind of more of my Louisiana or down south area. I have some Tony Chachere's just original Creole seasoning. I have some gumbo filet. I have some Zatarain's crab boil. Actually, this is the dry. I have a little bit of the wet. I have a little bit of Old Bay seasoning, a couple of those. And then I have some injectable roasted garlic herb marinade and praline honey ham. So let's talk about the pepper type of stuff. So here I have a bag of crushed Hatch red chili peppers. I have this is called Pepper and More. This is basically just a blend of a bunch of different kind of peppers. I have some rainbow peppercorns that are whole. Some crushed chili peppers here. Some crushed red peppers here. About the same thing. This just happens to be one that I bought in bulk. Chili powder. Chipotle peppers that is in a grinder. Of course, black pepper. Sweet paprika. Smoked paprika. Lemon pepper. Cayenne. And then some white pepper. Now I have a whole bunch of other spices. I may or may not show those that are actually just whole in the bag that aren't necessarily in my spice cabinet, so they don't really qualify. Let's get on to the next round. These spices, I'm just going to consider these kind of just everyday common spices. We have some cumin, some oregano, celery salt, a couple bottles of that. Actually, I have a couple of bottles of everything I've shown you. Thyme, mustard seeds, onion powder, coriander seeds. Behind that is coriander powder. I have some ground cloves, turmeric, garlic powder, ground ginger, chopped dried onions, nutmeg, and cardamom. Okay, so here's some compound spices. We have a salad and pasta seasoning. Great on both of those. We have a sweet and smoky barbecue rub, Stubbs all-purpose barbecue rub. We have Cavender's Greek seasoning. There's a Szechuan rub, or not rub, but a Szechuan seasoning that you can add to things that'll give it kind of an Asian flavor. We have a steak chop kind of a seasoning. This Rachel Ray seasoning is just a grinder that you can grind on like steak or meat or anything. There's a Greek seasoning. We have some Weber Chicago steak seasoning. That's a grinder as well. We have some curry powder. And this is really good stuff. This is mushroom truffle hunt. This would go in like, you'd sprinkle this on like mashed potatoes or vegetables. That's a really good seasoning right there. So these are kind of some random spices, but I have some pickling spice, whole cloves, ground cloves. I don't know if I had those out earlier. This is kind of some sugar cane type sugar that I got from my Mexican market. I have some wasabi powder, some toasted sesame seeds, regular sesame seeds, parsley flakes. The Root Boy Cooks had just done a video and he said, how many barbecue channels cook with capers? Here we go, right here. Not only is it right here, this is a full pack, but I have some recipes out there that also have that as well. Got that. Now, you want to step your game up a little bit? Don't just use regular olive oil all the time. Boom, hit them with some of that black truffle oil. Ask Thyron at T&T BBQ what he thinks about the package I sent him that had this in it. And then we have some hot blended sesame oil. I think I might have some more regular sesame oil up in there. I need to take a look. But like I said, I'm kind of going through my cabinet right now, kind of combining things. So I actually have more than you're going to see in this video. Almost to the end of this. Sorry for dragging this out. We have some Hershey's Cocoa. Pretty much I'll just use that for, I used a lot for chili, but some other kind of cooking as well. Here's the balsamic mustard glaze. I haven't tried this yet. I just bought this yesterday. Ground oregano, ground allspice. I got those at the Mexican market for 50 cents a bottle. Avocado oil. Step your game up, y'all. Then I have some bay leaves and some baldo leaves. So these are kind of, I got these at the Mexican market. These at Natural Grocers. And then I have some dried rosemary. Alright, so these are going to be, there's a couple things in here that are definitely some hippie items. So we have some nutritional yeast seasoning, and I think Andrea bought this to make like a vegan quiche. I did taste it. It almost tastes like cheese flakes or something, so I may start using that a little bit. We have some cinnamon essence. In this bottle is just some random spices that I put together for a barbecue rub I was making, even though it says fajita rub on it. There's the vegetable bouillon. Here's some real hippie, not chicken bouillon cubes that she bought when she was making a vegan recipe. I think that quiche. So this is like a vegetarian chicken flavoring. Canola oil, coconut oil spray, olive oil spray, sesame oil, and some peanut oil. Last but not least, we have some hot oriental yellow mustard, some pork chop spice, basically a barbecue chicken rub. We have, this stuff is called Black Hills barbecue seasoning. It just tastes like a regular seasoning to me. Lodo red adobo. So that's kind of like a smoked pepper rub almost. We have some chicken bouillon cubes, and then we have some powder, some beef bouillon powder. There you have it. I'd like to thank Mary Avella for giving me the idea to even do this video. It did two things for me. It allowed me to see some stuff I'm not using and combine some of the things that I've been using. Now, we only went through about 70% of what I had because there were some duplicates that I didn't actually show on video. Plus, there were some things like bagged chili peppers, which I actually didn't show in this video. So, I'm working with a lot of things. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are even, deeper into this than me. I personally try to keep my spices down to a minimum. I did just send out a bunch to Surf and Sapo, which is going to be in the link in the description, as well as T&T BBQ, because they did send me the spices that I referenced at the beginning of the video. So anyway, I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.